College football's
It's
over.
it seems like we just started this, and here we are,
Yes.
40 some odd episodes into this thing now, and it's done. We got a little bit of
Yes.
NFL left, and then hell if we know what we're going to do after that, right?
Uh,
So
yeah. And I don't think we've been if we started the season like, all right, who's going to win the title at all? I don't think in 100,000 years we would have said, how about Miami and Indiana? And Miami gets there with some nice wins, and Indiana just obliterates everyone in their path.
yeah,
You'd be like,
I,
okay, sure, whoever you think.
I mean they have been if I would give me five teams that will be in Miami playing for it. Miami might have been on mine. Ohio State
Yeah,
certainly would have been.
sure.
Texas
Ohio
probably would have
State,
been.
Texas. Yeah, exactly. Texas was really like, whoa, this
Indiana,
is
I don't think they would have been on mine.
no, no,
Alabama would have been on mine, but then they lost
sure.
to Florida State, and who knows how that happened, right?
This
I
is the
don't have
final
any
show,
idea.
the second and final
Go ahead.
show of the year. We're gonna say it.
Better go and get it out of the way.
Yeah,
Our
might as well get it out of the
yeah,
way. That's a good idea.
our honorary
Um,
mention of the Bama and Florida
how'd that
State game.
happen? Man, if you're a Bama fan, I'm sorry, but like you understand, we have to say this. Like you don't even know how to answer it. Kalen DeBoer doesn't know how to answer it. Nick Saban's not sure how to answer that,
Mm-mm.
and he's
Mike
perhaps
Norvell
the
can't even
goat.
answer it.
Mike Novell can't answer exactly. You say Mike Novell. Well, he's going to make a lot of money anyway, I guess, but he really
Yeah.
does keep making money now. So, oh boy. Well, as you said, this is almost it. This is the last preview of college football for the season. The title game is tomorrow, Monday.
So
Okay.
stupid.
I want
I
to watch the
see.
Cardinal game. Oh yeah, what day is the Cardinal? It's on this. What day is it? Saturday? Uh, no, it's on a Monday. Oh, okay. Well, surely the other playoff games are like on Saturday too. No, they were on Thursday and Friday.
Yeah, yeah.
What?
I seen a meme just a little while ago before we came on that was yesterday could have been epic. You could have kicked off the NFL at 1 and then had
Hmm.
one at like 4:30 and then did the national championship game at 8 o'clock last night, and it would have been
Yes.
perfect. Would have been a perfect Saturday
Uh,
and not competing against each other.
no, exactly right. Like if I know that's the thing, right? They don't want to compete against each other, but at the same time, what are we doing here? What are we doing? Like this is
Well, we're
anyway. I
staying up late.
digress.
That's what
So
we're doing. We're
that's
staying
what we're
up late
doing.
and
Yes.
watching it because that's what we're going to do, and
Yes.
then we're going to get up really early
Exactly.
and go to work next day. Well, I am. You off this week too?
No, I'm
You
working.
back?
So
Okay.
yep.
So
I'll uh I'll watch it. I mean, unless it becomes a beating,
I don't think it
you know,
will.
I'd
We'll
be
talk, but
surprised, I guess.
I
But
don't
yeah.
think it will.
Yeah, I suppose we should lead in with this is Healthy No Podcast. We're your hosts. That's Chris, I'm Brian, and we talk college football, obviously. From there, I don't know what we're going to talk about. We'll figure something out. NFL, transfer
It's a
portal, a lot of
basketball
college football
portal.
stuff. It's a basketball, absolutely. So, well, we're kind of a college sports centric um, uh, podcast. You won't hear much of baseball, NBA from us. So if that's what you're looking for, I suggest turning the show off now. But if you like college football, keep listening.
Yeah,
So here we are. It's episode what 20.2. I think this
yeah,
is
something.
20.2. You said this is 42nd show of the year. We started. This is our first year doing this, 2025. Um, and it's been great. It's been fun, and like I said, we're gonna keep going. But our main topic is about to wrap up. But next thing you know, it'll be August, right? No, that's not how it works because it
No.
takes forever from the last game until the kickoff. It's like 4 years,
Yes.
whereas the season's like I don't know, maybe 3 weeks or so, something like that, and then it's over. But,
It goes by
all right,
so fast, man.
so fast. Why is that? I don't. We've
Because
talked about it a
it's
little bit before. It's
yeah,
just because it's exciting. You look forward to it every
that's it.
week, and then it's gone. Then you're like
Yep.
next one. It's like an addiction, right? You need to get to the next weekend, and then it's like, oh, that was great. How about the next one? How about the next one? It's never quite good enough, and you always have more. and then you have to go detox for 8 months or whatever,
Yeah. Yep.
7 months, and you're right back on the horse again. So, all right, well, Miami playing a home game, kinda as the visitor in Hard Rock. It's Indiana's favored by 8.5. Over under is 47.5. Is opened up at 7.5, so the line moved a little bit. As you guys know, if you've been watching this, we will do some betting picks on this. We've done betting picks on the whole season. I'll let Chris fill you in on that in a second, but we're going to do our final three picks of the year on this game, and he has some ideas how we're going to do it just a little bit differently because we kind of split the balance and uh, who picks what the last few games, but there's just the one game left. So, all right, well, let's start with that. What are the how we're gonna pick these game? How are we gonna pick
Right.
this game?
I mean, we can dive into it as far as breaking it down a little bit, our thoughts and what we think. But how I want to do the betting picks is, I think it's fair to say that me and you both are probably going to take Indiana money line here. I think
Yes.
if I yeah I know I'm gonna pick them. I don't feel as good about it as I think you probably feel as good about it, but it is
Yeah.
what it is. And then as far as money line and over under, I've got the old bowl of death here, and so
Okay. Okay.
you'll
Perfect.
yeah. So I'll draw one out for either me or you, and whichever one we get is what we pick, whether it be the against the spread or the over under. So you'll get
Okay.
one, I'll get the other based on the draw out of the bowl of death,
Perfect.
and
Perfect.
then just go from there. And I did hedge the bets, and we'll talk about it. We can talk about it now if you want to, or after. I did hedge our bet with our money. We're coming in this thing with $238.17
Okay.
from $80. So we've recouped. We've went well north of the 80, and we also recouped our 147. We did our whole season of SEC home teams picking money line, and that wound up not working out for us at all, even though the
No.
winning percentage was good. So
Yeah.
that money all went bye bye. So now we've recouped all that, and we've went way above our $80 we started this playoff run in. We're picking these things as money line over under against the spread at a 76.7% clip going into this last game. So, and then I'll have the final numbers, of course, after tomorrow we do our recap show. And then what I did is I took $88. It's 238.17. I took $88 off of that, and I hedged it on Miami money line. I got them at plus 260, which is over two and a
Okay.
half times our money. So if
Right.
Miami wins the game straight up tomorrow night, the return on that is $316.80 off $88.
All right. All
Not a
right.
bad bet. That's a nice
Not
hedge.
bad.
The
Yes, it
remaining
is.
150 will be bet on Indiana money line, and then of course against the spread and the over under. And then either way, we should end up in pretty good shape. So
Yeah, I like it. I like it. That's a great idea. Yeah, I mean, let's get right after it. Like, uh, Indiana's favored, right? They've just obliterated anyone in their path the last few weeks, including, like Oregon and Alabama and anyone that the only team that kind of put up a fight was in the Big Ten title game. That was Ohio State. That felt like a year ago at this point now. So um, they're just so efficient, I think, is what someone might say.
it's been mentioned.
Indiana, that is, it's been
Yep.
mentioned perhaps. But then you have Miami, like, we were pretty bullish on them early in the season. Like, this is a legit number one team. I remember, the first few episodes in, we were like, look, if, Ohio State may be number one, this is maybe like late September. But if you told me Miami's number one, and I wouldn't have a problem with that. They were look so good, and especially on defense. They do really well on offense. They have some explosive players. They can run the ball. One of the best offensive lines in the country. They had a couple blemishes there that people are like, well, this is Miami again. But then they were able to put it together. Credit to Cristobal and his staff. They put together, went on a run late, had a hell of a run. Like, you beat A&M on the road. You beat Ohio State, who's, favored, of course. And then they, hang on to beat a good Ole Miss team. And here they are playing another good Indiana team. So, a great Indiana team. If Miami wins this game, you can't say they're anything less than very worthy of this title. There was some talk whether they should have been in or should Notre Dame been in. Um, but this is looking like Yep, the committee made the right decision here on this one because they have proven them right. Um, yeah, I guess let's the overarching look at the game. What are a couple like key things that you'd say that Miami will have to do to beat Indiana?
Well, they got to lean on them. They outweigh the Indiana defensive line by like 50 pounds on average.
Okay,
So you lean on them. But you basically it's the same recipe they've had the whole playoff. You run Fletcher, you get some key passes from Beck. Don't you get a Beck that just don't throw the other team the ball. You get it to
right.
Tony all you can. You run Fletcher. You're bullish on that. You lean on them, and then you turn Bain and Mesidor loose on the defensive side, and that's the rest. If you're Miami, I don't know why you go in this game doing anything other than what you've been doing. You shouldn't change a single thing. Do what you did all year. And in my
Yeah.
opinion, this Miami defense, they have the ability to kind of do what Ohio State did to them in the Big Ten championship game.
Hmm.
That game seems like 10 years ago. That's a 13-10 ball
Right.
game. Like
Right.
that's not an Indiana beating the crap out of them. Miami put
No. 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 No.
24
Right.
on the board against Ohio State, won by 2 scores on a neutral field.
Right.
So
Right.
and then that was their recipe. And the middle of the year we talked about it. Miami started off high. We were really high on them. Like, yeah, this team has a national championship talent. They have an experienced quarterback. They got a great running game. They got a dynamic freshman. They got bookends that can make life miserable for quarterbacks. They're good at linebacker. They're good in the secondary. They have all the makeup to win it all. Then they lose a couple in the
Hmm.
middle, and everybody kind of goes away from them. But they've always had that.
Right.
And
Right.
anytime Miami is on the field, and I would argue every game Miami stepped on the field this year, they were as talented or more talented than the team across from them every single time.
Sure. Yeah.
And so
That's
there's a lot of
very fair.
NFL
Yeah.
football players out there on Miami, and so I I I don't think this is going to be. Miami has had the rougher road. One, they've
Hmm.
had the
Yeah.
tough. I get
Absolutely.
no, no, yeah, they've had the tough road. They've had a tough road all season.
Agreed. Absolutely.
Miami played A&M and played a Notre Dame early. They lost a couple in the middle. Then they come into this playoff, having to go to Kyle Field and beat them. They didn't play. It was Notre Dame and who else they beat early. They beat Notre Dame and they beat somebody else.
Oh, Florida or Florida State, I
Yeah,
believe, right?
somebody. Yeah, they're not very
Yeah.
good teams, but
Yeah.
I know that Notre Dame win got them in. But they played
Right.
good team early. Then they go to Kyle Field and win. They get Ohio State on neutral field and win. They get Ole Miss on a neutral field and win. So they've had a much more of a road to hoe than Indiana's had. And
Yeah.
I I I'm gonna take. I said again, we're gonna take Indiana money line. We've already said it, but there's a reason I hedge at $88 because I don't. I could see this Miami line and the offensive line controlling this game to a point where maybe they don't dominate or anything like that. But 5 minutes to
Right.
go in the fourth quarter, this is a very up in the air ball game.
Absolutely. Yeah, I agree. It you said it perfectly. Just be who you are. That's how
So
you got here, Miami. Like, don't get bored with success of running Mark Fletcher and throwing the ball to Tony and running him around. Don't get bored with that success. Like, we saw them, I think it maybe was the Ohio State game where they're running the ball and running the ball, and then they start like throwing. Like, what are you doing? Like, you're putting it in Beck's hands, like who's not a bad QB, but you've seen him make some bad decisions. I mean, he had 11 interceptions, so that's not terrible, but like some of those were like, gee, Georgia fans were quite happy to see those kind of interceptions. But if they just be patient, don't get bored with success, run the ball, even if it's like hammering into the line 2, 3 yards and you pick up seven, then it's two, then it's two, then it's six. Like, don't get bored with that success when you're moving the ball because Indiana's gonna just come out balls to the wall. That's just what they do, right? That's just not how Indiana. That's not how Miami's built. So if you're gonna try to go away with them, get in the track meet with them, I just don't know that you're gonna be able to keep up and put up the amount of points they do. You're not fishing off at quarterback to do that for 4 quarters, like I think Mendoza and Indiana is. So, and then also agree 100%. Like Bain and Messidor just have to be animals. They have to be animals. If they I said this similar. If they are able to be animals, get to Mendoza like they're able to get to, put pressure on Julian Sand and most other one else this season, they have a shot. If Indiana's O line neutralizes them more or less, and kind of, I mean, Ole Miss did a pretty good job at that actually for most of that game. If Indiana's able to do that too, that's going to be tough for them. But one of those two have to be big. They have to have a couple sacks, some forced third and longs. They cannot give up, early down success if they're going to want to get off the field because Indiana's just too efficient. Like
That's right.
who they are.
Well,
Like
you know,
we make a
we
joke about it, but they are. Really, 41 touchdowns, 6 interceptions for Mendoza. Like uh, the guys has more touchdowns than incomplete passes the last 2 games.
right.
Each game. Like that's just who they are, and they don't make mistakes. They don't beat themselves. So Miami can't afford to turn the ball over. They have to get some pressure on defense, and don't get bored with running the ball because that's the way you're going to win. That's how you got here. So
Yep, for
that's how you're
sure.
going to win.
And one thing I'll say about, how they did, if you remember Miami in the first round of the playoffs, they were getting after Reed, and Reed was running. They opened
Yes.
up lanes, Reed would run into it, and he would get, 10, 12, 15 yards, whatever. And then Miami's backed off of that, and they were more controlled when they rushed. Against Julian Sand, they didn't do that. They just turned him loose.
Yeah.
Go get the quarterback.
Right.
You know where he's going to be. Go get him. It feels like they learned from the Reed game in the A&M game for Chambliss. They didn't really
Yes.
get after him much because they didn't create a whole lot of pressure against Chambliss. It's like they just built
Right.
a wall around him and like, throw the ball, dude. We're just going to live with this
Right.
because we're not going to chase y'all around like Reed because that's when Chambliss gets really
Right.
dangerous. So
Yes.
if you're
Right.
Miami, Mendoza is a better thrower than Well, I want to say he's a better thrower than Chambliss, but
I think that's fair.
I
Yeah.
think I think
I
it's
think it's
fair,
fair.
but they're not far off. If he's better, it ain't much
No, no,
better.
exactly. Right. No,
He
right.
ain't gonna. One thing he won't do is run like Chambliss. That's the thing. So Chambliss
No,
is much more
no.
athletic back there than Mendoza is, but he's
Yes.
just not maybe not as accurate. But
Right.
if you're
Yes.
Miami, what do you do? Do you build the wall around Mendoza and make him throw that ball, or do you do like they did with Julian, saying is, hey, go get the quarterback, go get the quarterback on second and long, third and long, go get him. Lanes be damned, go get him. That's
Yeah.
dangerous
Uh,
too. I mean, it's going to be a
That's
chess
because he
match.
can move. He can move a little
Yes,
bit.
he can. He can.
Mendoza can move a little bit. He's big. He's 6'5", 225 or something like that. He could take a punch, and he can run a little bit. Like compared to Sayan, who's more of a sort of pocket
Yeah,
style passer. But I think they have to speed him up a little bit.
I do
Like
too.
they can't just let him sit back there and pick them apart because Becker and Surratt and those other wide receivers and running backs out of the backfield will just chew them alive. They can he will find someone open and he will not make a mistake. I, how they do that, how they bring pressure, I think they just have to bring more than four, especially on like obvious passing downs. You'll see pretty early, I guess, if Mesidor and or Bain are
Yep,
able to get
that's
pressure like
that's the
with
key,
four.
right?
If
You
they can get
want to
pressure
just
with
do it with
four,
four.
yeah,
Changes the entire game.
then they're cooking.
Uh huh.
They're cooking with grease, right? Exactly. If they have to start bringing pressure, I think they might be in trouble because Miami's secondary is really good, but they're going to get some plays in. But overall, Indiana's probably going to be able to, either hit them over the top or just kind of bludgeon them to death with 15-yard, outs and curls and
Right.
dig routes, post whatever to just kind of drive down the field and just punch it in, and then you know. Miami's going to have to hold Indiana to well under 100 yards rushing, I think, too. They cannot let Hamby and Black go
No
nuts because then it's like, let's forget it.
ball
I mean,
game.
it's a lot. We're saying all these things because it's a lot to handle for any team. But if there was one team that could do it, that might very well be Miami. They are talented enough
What's the
on
best
defense
defense?
to slow them down.
Best best defense
Yeah,
Indiana's seen since the Ohio State defense. They put up 13 points.
right, exactly.
So
Right. So I think that's the six. I just maybe you said earlier. I don't see this one being a bloodbath like Indiana
no.
has done the previous few weeks. Just because Miami is not, they're not built to be beat up. I mean, it's not impossible, obviously, but I just don't see them. They're pretty disciplined, generally speaking. They know
No.
who they are on defense, on offense. You're
They got to
not
play it
likely to
clean.
blow them out. Yeah, they got to play clean, right? No turnovers.
Yep.
Get pressure with four, maybe five. Beck has to completely take care of the ball, make a few plays. Like, he doesn't have to be, you know, I was going to say Josh Allen, but that wouldn't be good either. He doesn't have to be
Right.
prime Patrick Mahomes or
Right.
prime Tom Brady, but he has to be really, really good. His top game to take care of the ball, get the ball to Tony and other wide receivers, and then hand the ball off cleanly.
I don't
That may be the most important part
I don't
to
think
Fletcher.
I don't think Miami will have I don't think Miami will have any trouble getting Tony the ball as far as getting him his touches. What I worry about
Right.
is them not being bullish enough running Fletcher. We've harped on this and
Yes.
harped on this. He if he does, it's the end of the year now. It's a national championship game. The
Yep.
kid
Yes.
deserves, and if you don't feed him that ball 25 times minimum on this game, it's it's coaching malpractice, in my opinion.
Yes.
You run him and you
100%. I
run
agree.
him and you run him, and he just seems like a back that gets better. And then you bring Brown in, let him get his touches, but two
Yes.
thirds of
Absolutely.
these touches need to be Fletcher, straight up,
Absolutely. Yes.
and just keep pounding him in there. And it may while at first it may not be all that successful, you may have to live with only catching a couple yards here or there, whatever. He seems like a back that the more you would feed him, the better and stronger he would get. And that's what you want to try to do if you're Miami. Unless Indiana scores and forces you to get into a throw game, you run him and you run him and you run him and you pound it and you pound it. And hopefully you're around in the fourth quarter where now those runs are taking a little bit of an effect and he's getting better and stronger and he breaks one or something. Or you can play action and
Yep.
start to find Tony downfield because they're having to commit more people to the cause and stopping Fletcher. I just would be bullish on running that ball. And with the Miami offensive line outweighing Indiana in every spot, I would go in with 25 minimum touches for Fletcher. I just would.
Absolutely. As I was going to say, he needs at
Just
least a dozen touches per half, at
yes,
least. And if it's like you said, last game, this is title game. Miami's not been there for a while. Cristobal could, he's been known as a coach as like, hey, he's a good coach, but like, he's kind of been clowned a few times too. But now he's got a team that's experienced, very talented. They have great coaching staff. So this is their opportunity, and they're going to earn it. But they certainly can do it. But yeah, I'm with you. They have to run the ball with Fletcher. He needs as many touches as possible, even if it's like I said, a couple yards here and there. Just those punches are going to weigh on them. And if you can get in the fourth quarter in a dogfight, you're at home. Like Indiana might out fan them if that's the thing.
it
Like there
would
may be more
surprise me.
Indiana fans than there are
Would
Miami
shock
fans.
me.
Like, right? Which is funny, but like this is they have Miami has none of the travel excuses. I guess you could say they have all the off the field media drama and excuses because it's just right there at home and they can't avoid newspapers, TV, whatever. But
I got a question for you.
they just it's home. It's a home game. This is where they play. This is where you
And
should
they
win.
and they say the home team gets 3 points, right? In gambling.
Yes,
So
right.
are we really
Yeah,
saying if this game was in Atlanta that they're minus 11 and a half?
11 and a half. Yeah,
I mean,
that's crazy.
really?
That's a very interesting thought, right? Double digit dog.
I I
Yeah, right.
I don't see that, man. I don't. I said, and it's a home game, so they sleep in their own beds. It's a typical home
Yep,
game, and just
exactly.
we all know home teams with gambling generally get 3 points. If things are even, it's three
Yeah.
points. Well, that being the case, if this game's in the Rose Bowl or in Arizona at the Fiesta Bowl or what, name another playoff venue that
Shit, in
is
Jacksonville even or
yeah
somewhere,
whatever, just another playoff venue during the playoff, and these two teams are playing each other. I mean, are we really saying Indiana minus 11 and a half? That would be crazy. That'd be straight kooky dukes in my opinion.
That's
But
yeah, no, that's yeah. That's a really, really good point. Um, huh.
and
Well,
one
as
other
it
thing,
is, yeah.
one other thing, talking about Miami and running the ball, Ohio State, who didn't run the ball that well all year, right? We've been saying that all year. They didn't run
No,
the
no,
ball.
that's was their Achilles heel, right?
They ran for 117 on this Indiana defense in the Big Ten championship game.
Yes.
So Could, is it fair to say then, an Ohio State team that didn't run the ball that effectively all year, this Miami team is elite at running the football?
Yes,
What what
yes,
what rushing
yes.
yards do
That's
you think they need to hit to feel really good about a Miami win? What's that yardage?
I'd say 150
I was gonna say
to be in the
175,
ballpark.
but yeah, yeah, 150's
175. Yeah.
sound yeah,
I mean,
150's
and
pretty good.
and most of that being Fletcher, right? If
Sure,
he goes north of 100 and he gets
you feel
those
really
25
good.
carries, you feel really good because that means you're controlling that clock,
Hmm.
and that efficient Indiana team has to just watch from the sidelines twiddling their thumbs. It's kind of like if you're a fan of, well, we're a fan of college football, neutral fan of this. Like, we want to see a, you know, 45-42 shootout. But if
Yeah.
you're Indiana, I mean, if you're a Miami fan, you want this to be so boring
Hmm.
and so click, click, 3 yards pass, punt if we have to. Punt's your friend in this
Punt's your
one.
friend. That's
Punt's your
right in this
friend if
game.
you
Yep. You want
do
an Ole Miss
not
ball
be
game is what
hyper
you want.
aggressive. You want an old exactly right, right. You got here being, explosive in a lot of ways, but at the same time, like you are a defense and running the ball team with some sprinkled in some elite, wide receiver talent.
Yes.
You have, um, you know, essentially Joe Flacco at quarterback, or pick your kind of average quarterback.
Right. Yeah. Fair
NFL
or unfair,
winning
that's fact.
Super Bowl winning. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
exactly. I mean, Beck has played well. He made some plays, including the game winner last weekend or the weekend before. But like he's not who if he throws the ball. Better question is if he throws the ball greater than X amount of times, Miami's in trouble.
Yeah, right.
What is
I
that
would say
number?
north of 20. North of 20, north of
20.
25, 25 attempts. If he throws for
Yeah,
over 30, if he throws 30 times, Miami's in big trouble. They're in huge trouble.
big deep shit. Yeah,
Yes,
right.
exactly. You want that number in the low to mid 20s if you're Miami. Yeah. And I think and we'll revisit these stats. How many attempts Carson Beck has, how many carries
Hmm.
Fletcher has. Just those two numbers. And I think if you don't know the
Yes,
score of this game at all and you give someone those two numbers, they'll be able to tell, oh, this game went one way or another based on those numbers. Just those two.
absolutely.
Just those two.
I think yes, I agree 100%. That'd be an interesting little social experiment.
We'll
Don't
see. We'll
watch the
do it on the
game. I'll give you
review.
the box score.
Hmm.
I'll give you the box score after the game, and you tell me who won.
Yep.
You probably have a pretty good idea, minus a bunch of crazy things. It's just Indiana doesn't. They don't. They don't give up big plays on special teams or kick the ball well. Like they just do everything well, um, and so they earn that efficient, as corny as we make it.
Yeah.
Like we joke on it, but they are who they are. Like they're well coached. Every little detail is important to them, and that's important to notice that because that's how they are so successful.
And
Right?
they
They don't
game
have
plan, man.
15
The
5 stars.
the
Oh my
game plan
God,
they come in
that
with. Well,
staff is just unreal.
and talking about the stars, as far as straight up talent and stars, they've been the lesser talented team and lesser starred team on paper the whole year. Like, well,
For
maybe
two
not so.
years. Yeah.
Yeah, as far as Big Ten teams, they're probably in there. But when they in this
Right.
playoff,
Right.
as far as on paper
Yes.
rosters, they've been the lesser roster. But what they do have is a lot of old guys, right? A lot of grown
Yes.
ass men. Their average age is 23 years old on that roster. Well, that means way more
Hmm.
than any five-star kid who's 18-year-old come out of high school.
Absolutely.
Means way more.
Right.
You've
Right.
spent 5 years in a college weight room. You've matured. Your brain's fully formed now. All that stuff happens, and they
Right.
play like it. They play like a bunch. They're not, but they play like an NFL team plays. A good NFL team, I
Yes.
guess.
Right.
Not the Browns, but like a
Right.
good NFL team.
No, no. To be
A team
clear.
that actually has their shit together is how they play.
Right.
They go
Yes.
about their business professionally. Is what they do, and that obviously leads to the results that you get.
Right. They don't miss anything, right?
Nope.
They don't miss any detail. And that's how you are successful when you don't have elite talent. They recruited the right kids what they want to do. They recruited the kids already know what they want to do. That helps tremendously as well. And they continue to find the right quarterback to play within what their system is and take care of the ball. And it's not a one hit, not a two hit wonder. I mean, this is Indiana's legit. Like this is a powerhouse. I can't believe I'm saying this. This is a
It just doesn't seem
powerhouse
right,
in
does
the
it?
country right now. No, it's hard to spit it out because part of your brain goes back to like, well, they're going to return to the mean here, right? They're going to go 7-5 next year, whatever it is. But like,
I don't think so.
I I don't think so because they're already hitting the portal well again. They have hit the portal well again. They're filling those holes that they're going to have to need to fill on both sides of the ball. They brought in a quarterback. They brought in, great wide receiver already for next year. So this is just Google him. He wins. I mean, just
That's right. That's
madness.
one thing. That's one thing. Now, we talked about the portal a little bit. We'll talk about it more in future shows once we don't have games to
Yeah.
talk about. But that's one. I guess there's more negatives than positives to the portal. One positive I
Yes.
will say is you can make your roster much older by the portal, and that runs hand in hand with just being better because you get players that's been
Right.
around for a while. So if you get older after the
Yes.
portal, then you've most of the time that's better. Joey A for Tennessee last year is a prime example. Come out of nowhere,
Absolutely.
been playing ball forever, seems like, as far as on the college level, been everywhere, and comes in, and you can just tell immediately. I mean, the way he played, you just tell the kid's been around a while. So
Absolutely.
that's kind of a new recipe, and Signetti's been better than anyone in the country at that recipe.
Oh,
For I don't know how,
he's a master.
who he targets. He has the money, and he knows exactly who he wants and
Yep.
what he wants him to be, and they have to buy in. That's probably the most important thing. When they get there, they conform to
Yes.
whatever he wants them to be, and they do it, and they all buy in immediately, and then
Right.
now you have a Indiana team that's beating the crap out of everybody, which doesn't. I'm like you.
Which
It
is
does sound nothing I thought I'd ever
doesn't
say,
sound
but that's
right.
what they're doing. So
Right. If you're from the past and you've teleported to the future and this is the first thing you're seeing, you're like, oh, come
what
on,
the
like I
hell?
missed something here because this is not real. Okay. Um, yeah, no, I think and I gather that Signetti makes that crystal clear. This is who they are. If you want to come here, we want you. But if you're going to be a jackass, well, then maybe you should go somewhere else
Right.
because we know who we are, what we want. We have an elite staff that's been together for a long time together. That also helps with the continuity of
Hmm.
things. And
For sure.
they got a system and it's working. And you're gonna see teams that are already trying to do it, try to emulate Indiana, which is also a silly thing to think about. But they have a success now. They there's so many other factors that go into that. It's not just like, oh, let's get the oldest team we can. Well, no, I mean, that's
Right.
important, but you also have to have the right guys, the right quarterback for what you want to do. If you want to run the ball, you have to have the right amount of offensive linemen, the right running back. They just have nice balance everywhere. Indiana does, and like that's why they're so dangerous because they'll run the ball on you for 300 yards if you want, but they can also throw it for 350 and three incompletions and six touchdowns. So that's that's
Right.
the danger,
They could beat you
right?
however,
That's
whatever
the
game you
danger.
want to play, they're happy to play it in.
Yes, right.
You want to go score and going to go score 30, 40 points and get in a track meet? Let's do it. You want to
Let's
play
do
in the
it.
mud and make this 13-10? Cool. Let's do it. They're happy no matter where the
Yeah,
game ends up or how the game's being played. They're happy to play it there. And that's rare.
yeah.
There's rarely teams
No, no,
that
exactly.
play like in that kind. I know Tennessee's
That are
not one.
comfortable like that, right?
Yeah, I mean Josh
No,
Heupel has
no. In
a. I
Michigan,
mean,
yeah,
there's a stat on Heupel where I mean his teams when they score 30 and over, the winning percentage jumps up dramatically. Well, there's a reason. But Indiana will play whatever
right.
game you want to play. Whatever Miami wants to do tomorrow night,
Sure,
Indiana's going to be a-okay playing it.
right. Yeah, and they probably anticipate they're seeing an elite defensive front in Miami. So, I'm guessing they're planning on just let's just bludgeon if we can. I mean, hit some shots to Becker and Surratt when the time calls. A lot of play action. It's all like whether they can get the running game going, both teams that is, to settle in and hit some play action shots. Like both secondaries are really good. I don't see a lot of busted coverages,
Nope,
like the Ole Miss had, some other teams like that had. I just don't see that happening. So all right, well, time to do the picks, I guess.
let's do it.
One thing like we said, we're sure on is we both are picking Indiana to win this game. Now, the other two things we have to bet on is the spread and the over under. The spread being
Yeah.
8.5 right now, over under 47.5. And the bowl of death is going to determine who picks what. Well, we're both going to pick it. It's going to be like which one we bet on, though.
Yes, correct.
Should say that
So
like that.
you are 12-3 in the playoffs picking. I'm 11-4. So that being the
Oh,
case,
that's
the bet
it's
it's
okay.
crazy. Since you have the better record, technically, you get the honor of
Okay.
going first. So I've drawn
Okay.
out. You will be picking the anticipation's killing everyone, I'm sure.
It's
Ah,
it's just
you will be picking the over under, sir. 47.5.
okay. 47.5. That's a kind of lowish number, right? Like that says 27-20 kind of game, which is kind of where I'd
That's a
probably
great number.
sit.
I think that's a fantastic over under set.
Like
I do.
I think they nailed it,
I
right?
do too.
Because you said it earlier too, because we saw Indiana in some dogfights. Like I went to the Iowa Indiana game that was
Right.
in Iowa City. That was a dogfight for Indiana. That was a lower scoring game. That was early in the season, so that's improved since then. Then we saw them, get a 13-10 with Ohio State.
They had to
And
score
those
a
are
lot.
two good
And Penn
defenses that
State, they had
Indiana
to
went
score a lot
against.
of points.
It's
I mean, that
exactly right, exactly. So that's they're not, they're not perfect. They're beatable if you can be patient and do what they need to do. So with that said, I'm going to take the under. I think Miami is one of those teams similar to Ohio State that are talented enough on defense to keep Indiana from going nuts and blowing people out like they did to Oregon, like they did to Alabama, like they did a lot of teams this year. I like Miami to keep them in the low 20s. I just don't think Miami can get into the 20s to match them or to certainly to beat them since like I said, we're both picking Indiana. So I'm going to take the under on this.
okay. I would have too.
It's going to be like
Yeah,
a 23-17, 23-16 kind of thing, something like that.
yeah, yeah. I'm with you. I would have taken the under as well. Had I had that pick, I was going under. I'm like you. I think two things can happen here. I think the game can be shortened up by the Miami run game, but I also think Indiana's
That's
cool with
precisely what I was
that
thinking.
and can score enough points to still win the game. So, but I think it's a low
Right.
20s game. Indiana bludgeoning Alabama and Oregon, who turned the ball over 3 times, is I don't think
Hmm.
those are. I don't want to say that's fool's gold when it comes to picking the over or the points,
Right.
but it just seems that way. It just seems like Miami, a much more battle-tested Miami, is better equipped to keep this
Absolutely.
game really, really close. So I'm with you on the under. I'm 24-20,
Yeah.
23-20 field goal late, something like that. If it comes down field goal winner, you feel good if you're Indiana because they're much better kicking the ball than Miami is. So
Absolutely.
all right,
Yes. Right. Yeah, exactly. Right.
I get the
I
Indiana.
agree with you. The biggest thing, yeah. So what? Just one thing, like you said it perfectly, and I think that's also another reason I believe that is that Miami's front four and their defensive up front are stronger than what Oregon and Alabama were, and that made the biggest difference,
I
right?
think
And
by
I
a
think
lot
that's
too.
that's where I lean towards this. Yeah, absolutely, I agree.
Front
Right?
sevens, they're
They just
very
have
comparable to Ohio
game
State.
wreckers. Yeah. Yes, absolutely. Right.
The only thing Miami don't have is a Sonny Styles. Everything else they do just as good as Ohio State does.
Yes. Right.
They just
Yes,
don't have a
absolutely. Yeah,
Sonny
elite,
Styles.
like elite defensive back play. They don't
Right.
have a Styles. Yeah, exactly right.
But
That's a good
everything
point. That's a
else,
very good
as far
point.
as the
Yep.
line, defensive line, I'll take Miami's all day over Ohio State's.
Absolutely. They have two
That's insane.
elite defensive linemen, right?
First round picks
Like
next year,
two.
probably.
They're could be game wreckers. Yeah, exactly.
Uh-huh.
They could absolutely be game wreckers.
They're going to be
And
playing
if
a lot
they're
of
game
football on
wreckers,
Sunday.
if they're game wreckers tomorrow night, uh, uh, and Fletcher runs the ball for 125 yards, Miami's winning that game.
I can see it.
I mean, that's the recipe for success.
Uh-huh.
That's it.
Yep.
So
Especially if they
that's a
can
big
make
ask, but
right. Well, if they can speed Mendoza up enough to get him to do what Ohio State got him to do, which is throw them the football a time or two,
hmm
then you feel really good.
yes,
So, all right.
absolutely.
Indiana
All right,
minus eight and
so
a
yeah, you
half.
get to
I I'll tell you right now, I'm
yeah.
taking Miami to cover this. I am. I think we both probably would. If you had this pick, would you take Miami to cover
Mhm.
that? Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah, no,
Yeah.
absolutely, for sure.
Yeah.
Yep, I sure as hell would if it was 11 and a half in Atlanta too, or wherever.
Right.
Pick a neutral site. 11. No, I agree. I just briefly, I think it's a 20, 22,
Hmm?
16, 17. I think it's within 8.5. I agree.
Yeah. I think this game score is a lot what we thought the Oregon Indiana score was going to be. Because I think we both had
Sure.
the Indiana and Oregon game in the low 20s a little bit, and of course
Mm-hmm.
totally missed that mark. But um, I just
Did we ever?
I think this game is. We missed that one, but I think this game is. I think Miami is much better equipped than Oregon is to make it that kind of a game when it comes to their power run game
Yeah.
and the way they get after the quarterback and how they play defense, playing at home. I it wouldn't shock me to be doing the review show and we come in here saying, well, Miami won it, and we'll win the cover
Yeah.
and win the under, and the only thing we miss is
Yeah.
the Indiana money line.
Right. Right.
That's probably the best case for us. Is Miami win on that hedge
I
bet
think
at
so.
plus 260 and hit that under
Yes.
and hit that
Yes.
spread? That'll be a nice payday.
That's gold.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Look. We're both picking Indiana to win, but if Miami hits all those things that we talked about, in Indiana, like even flinches a little, which they're not likely to.
nope.
It's not crazy to think about. We'll talk on the review show Tuesday or whatever that Miami won. I mean, it's you can see it happening if you squint a little bit.
For
I
sure.
think. I mean, you don't have to squint hard,
I don't
but
think you do either.
they just have the right makeup on both sides of the ball to make it very interesting and difficult for Indiana. If this is an Indiana 49-13 game, this made me talk about like this is one of the best college football teams ever.
I think you have to at that point.
You know,
Yeah.
yeah, I think like good grief. I don't anticipate that happening, but we'll cross that bridge as needed. So, all
Beck would
right,
have to throw them
well,
the football a lot, and Indiana would
four
have to be able
times
to
or right
run
now
the
runs
ball
it.
at will for that to happen. I don't think Beck throwing in the football is, I mean, a possibility for sure, but I don't think the Indiana
Sure,
just bludgeons them and runs the ball for 200 plus yards. Not on this Miami front seven. I
no,
don't see it.
no, that would be very surprising. That would be very, very surprising to see that. Um, all right, well, we have. I feel pretty good about
I do
those
too.
two picks. That Indiana win, but Miami covers and the under hits. I feel good about all of those actually. So, all right, well, I'll be back to talk about that in a couple days because this football season's over. College football season's over, but we'll talk about NFL.
Yeah.
Should we
Uh,
talk about some NFL?
we can. I
What,
said
what,
I've got a couple things on
we,
here. Um,
yeah,
was that an interception yesterday? The Bills and Broncos.
um, y- yes, I think it is. The only reason I say yes is because let me put this up. Is that if the wide receiver had landed and there's no one around and the ball fell out onto the ground, it would be an incompletion, I think. Like I'm not sure on that. Like if he catches the ball, hits the ground, and the ball pops out, I don't know that that's a reception because he has not taken like several
Right.
football steps, right? So the fact that the defender was there and gobbled up the ball, and it was sort of a high ball, if you will. That's why I feel like that ruling is probably right. Do you disagree?
Well, I could see both ways. Catches are weird because you got to finish the catch. So when he hits the
Right.
ground, he has the ball. His knees and elbows and everything are on the ground. The Denver Bronco
It's
defensive
being
back it
touched.
has his hands on him. So you would think he's
Yes.
down then. He's a down player. What happens after
Right.
that is
Yes.
irrelevant. It's like breaking the plane on the goal line. You could break the plane on the goal line and then have the ball stripped out. But once the ball breaks the plane, the play's over. But a catch isn't like that. It's
Yes. It's
weird.
done. Yes.
Yeah.
No.
So
Right.
he
Right.
could. It's just. It could have went. I think it could have went either way. You can make an argument both ways on it too, but at the end of the day, they had a chance to win the game anyway, and Allen was not good, not good enough,
Yes.
and that's where they
No.
lost it. It didn't have anything.
No.
That's just one play, and it meant a lot. But Buffalo had plenty of shots to win that game prior to that. So
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. In fact, in regulation, when they were kicking a field goal,
hmm
he missed Knox on a crossing route or a post or whatever it was he was running there. He had time in the pocket. He had it open. That was six. Or if he's not, it's right at the
yep,
goal line, and they do a Allen push for a touchdown for the W. So he had four turnovers,
yeah,
two
yes,
interceptions, bad interceptions, sloppy with the ball, running around. Like this is, I just don't know how Buffalo continues to do the same thing over and over with McDermott and Allen and anticipate something different to happen. They probably won't, but they need to move on from McDermott. Like this is not working. They had everything laid out in front of them. There's no Patrick Mahomes. There's no Lamar
right. And
Jackson.
that's the
Now they
thing. Yeah,
had it all. They have a young Bo Nix at quarterback, and which a great Denver defense, of course, but they had it all, and they still couldn't put it together. Um, they get down early, they're down 20-10, they come back like they just had opportunities and they just choked it away. And Josh Allen's a great quarterback, but at some point you have to think, well, he's perfect for Buffalo because they always come up short. They're always the bridesmaids that can never
right. Seems
quite
that
get
way.
get that next win, right? It's going back for 30, 40 years, right? And so that's just who they are, and that's really disappointing now because Nix breaks his ankle just downing the
Right.
ball or recentering the ball, whatever they were doing. And now they got Stidham's going to come in and he's not taking a
Yeah.
snap. He's taken one snap in the last 2 years, never thrown a pass, never done anything. Like, how's that going to? That would be like the greatest story ever if he comes in and they somehow engineers a win. Like it just
Gets the
seems
Super
so
Bowl.
unlikely. So if you're Houston or if you're Houston or uh, New England, you're like salivating at this
Yeah.
opportunity, right? I mean, even if it's in Denver, who cares? Like, both those defenses can handle a quarterback who hasn't played for 2 years. We can
I
stick a
think
snap for 2 years, or
talking
throw the
about
ball for
this
2 years.
game, I think if you were Buffalo and you said you're scoring 30 points in this game, I would have thought you felt pretty good if you were Buffalo with the Denver
Absolutely,
offense. With
absolutely,
a young, Bo Nix is not very
right.
experienced. I mean, he's been there for a little bit, but they're just not. They lean on their defense and their run game, and he just makes throws, try to make a timely throw or two. He's not going to throw the ball over the park and beat you. So
Right,
if you're a Buffalo, you're like, man, we scored 30, we win. If I was a Buffalo fan, you
right.
said you're getting 30 this game, I'd have felt really, really good about winning that game. But you turn the ball
Absolutely,
over and give them short fields,
absolutely.
and next thing you know, call don't go your way and you lose.
That's you put yourself in that position
hmm
when you're minus 3 or 4 in turnovers
Yep.
on the road against an elite defense, the number one team in the that side of the bracket. Like in hell they ran the ball. Cook had ran the ball for 117 yards, ran almost 5 yards a carry. Like
Right.
Allen carried the ball well. Like they did play well. It's just some sloppy plays here and there. And then I thought Bo Nix was really great in that fourth quarter, especially on that final drive. He hit a big third and like 11 or 12, and then that throw to Mims for the touchdown was just
Yeah, it was gorgeous.
beautiful. It's a thing of
Yes.
art. Um, it's so that I was really impressed with him because we talked about it off the air that like I thought Denver would probably win, but your point was like you didn't believe in Bo Nix more than, and I didn't really either. I thought they would just win because this is Buffalo, but I thought Bo Nix was like excellent for that last 20 minutes of that game, especially the last
Right.
quarter,
When
and
he
and
needed
then
to be, he
in the
was.
overtime as well. So
Yeah.
he absolutely was. And when
Yeah.
Allen needed to be, he came up short. I mean,
Was not.
and there's no excuses at this point, right? It's just nothing. Like you have wide receivers, you can run the ball, you have a really really good defense that was that came up short again. But like I just don't know how Buffalo moves forward to next year with the same game plan, the same coaches, same everything. It's not working.
The
And
and the play the
McDermott may be a good
Buffalo
coach, but this is not working in Buffalo.
the play call to that side, like the option or whatever they run on fourth down. Like
Oh my God.
what there is horrendous. Absolutely. I mean, you got
I
Cook
just
and you got Allen that both run the ball great, and you decide to go wide on a Denver Bronco defense, like you said already, is elite, best one of the best units in the whole in
can run,
NFL,
man.
and you decide you're going to run wide on them, and they just string it out and run you right out. I mean, yeah, I
That's yeah, and I think that like Joe Brady is a great offensive coordinator. Like
do
he's a
too.
hot name. Like he's probably going to get a head coaching job one time, maybe college before he goes to get an NFL job. But like they just don't have quite it. I mean, they bring him Bosa, who's disruptive,
Right.
and they're trying to do the right things. Like like they just don't have the quarterback who's making the right play at the right time in these games like this that are kind of 50-50, and they didn't have enough juice to get past Kansas City, and their path is clear. Right?
Yes.
They get a second year Bo Nix who's like he's been good, but not like oh my God, this guy's the next John Elway, nothing like that. And then they just do what they do. They come up short, especially in overtime. Josh Allen's like what 0-7 or 0-8 in overtimes
Yes.
now.
Yep. He's never won an overtime game, which is crazy. That's a
That
crazy
matters.
stat.
That's
That is an
that's
amazing
that.
stat.
Eventually, you get lucky, right?
You would think, especially with
But
as elite as
it's
Buffalo has been. I mean, they've been really the thing with Buffalo Bill fans. This is what they tell you, and you've already hit on it. Is they've been elite for a lot of years, but they just run into
yeah,
Lamar and they
absolutely
run into Patrick Mahomes, who's already a Hall of Famer, and some great Chiefs teams, and they just got beat by better Chiefs teams and a fantastic
right.
Patrick Mahomes in the last minutes. He just made plays, and then now that the field's cleared of all those guys, and you're like, okay, finally, but it's like they're on the backside of all that now. A Buffalo team 3 years ago rolls through this AFC no problem, and it's just like they're on the backside. It's like they peaked too early when everyone else had peaked in the AFC with the Chiefs and
Yes,
the Ravens, and now they're on the downhill part,
yes,
the backside of that run, and now they just don't have the horses
right,
to get them over the hump anymore. And
right. That
one
window
thing,
is closing, if not already
yes,
closed, to win a
for
title.
sure, I think it probably has. And one thing, a stat that I seen on here, and I didn't realize this, and it's kind of crazy, is no NFL head coach has ever won a Super Bowl with two separate teams. So Sean
Oh
Payton's
wow.
already
Okay.
behind the eight ball on that before
Titans.
even Bo Nix gets hurt,
Mm-hmm.
which
Yep.
is
Yeah.
you when I seen that stat, you're doing right now what I was doing. I'm in my brain. I'm like, is that actually true? I couldn't think of a coach that won
I'm just
two.
like
Yeah,
it,
I couldn't think of one.
I guess it has to be,
Yeah,
right? A
it was
lot of
on
the guys that
social
were
media, so
great coaches for a
I
long
was
time.
yeah. I seen it on Facebook or something like, nah,
Yeah,
that
most of
can't
those.
be. That's got to be
Okay.
misinformation. But no, it's I couldn't think of one. Maybe
Yeah, if you're like think Jimmy Johnson, like he's in Dallas forever, right?
right.
Primarily, so you
Yep.
don't. If you're winning places in one place, you're going to stay there forever, right? It's not like
Yeah.
college coaches; they're kind of jump around a lot. Generally speaking, um, yeah, I guess that's it has to be true.
John Harbaugh will
And
have an opportunity because he
yes, he
won with
will.
Baltimore, so
Yes, he
he'll have
will.
an opportunity to
But he
do it.
didn't. He was not unemployed very long.
No,
He
no,
was not
no.
unemployed very long.
I have
There
a
shouldn't have been.
guy at work at
I get it. They
Pittsburgh
had to
that
move on.
yeah, you had to make that call. But I have a guy at work who's a Pittsburgh fan,
Yeah,
and I was
right.
like, you ought to hire John Harbaugh right now, this very minute.
Yep.
Of course, but
Yes. Absolutely. Yeah, no, this may be the best thing that the Giants have done since Eli retired, I guess. I don't know.
right?
They've been lost in the woods for a long time. Um, yeah, I mean, they have some young talent and they'll be well coached, and I imagine he'll bring some of his staff or not all the staff with him.
I would
And
imagine.
I, if you're a Giants fan, you have to be excited. If you're, a Ravens fan, you're like, well, I think this is good, but like, now
Is
what?
it?
This has been
Yeah,
19 years or 18 years.
yeah,
Same, I
yeah.
think, right? Same with Pittsburgh. Like they've been wanting to get rid of him, Tomlin, for a decade thereabouts,
He's done
and
just enough
now
to
it's
stay
like,
employed
okay,
there.
yes, right. And so I think it if there's a decision to be made, that who made the better decision, that was a smarter decision to move on, Baltimore or Pittsburgh? I'd say Baltimore probably, or I mean, Pittsburgh probably made the right decision for sure, because it's just time. You can say the same for Harbaugh, but like, man, they're a healthy team, and from being, you know, where Buffalo was, or maybe Denver is right now, like
Right.
they seemingly are closer to doing it than 42-year-old Aaron Rodgers and a old team
Yes.
like the Steelers
That was never
are
going to
or
work.
were, right?
That was never going to
No,
work.
no, no, no. I just it that's just you're just wasting your time, basically, right? I mean, it's probably brought in revenue, having him there, but like, now what? Now what are you gonna do?
Right. Well, you got to pick
You
up
don't have
one
anything,
or you got to draft one as far as quarterback. And this draft
right?
class for quarterbacks isn't what you call elite.
There's
There's no can't miss on there.
there's
So,
nothing, and I mean, the best players, best quarterbacks, probably Mendoza, and like, I think he could be a solid NFL
right,
quarterback, but he's not like, no one's salivating over him like they were, you know, Bryce Young
right.
or Sunshine there in Jacksonville.
Yep.
Like,
Trevor
there's not
Lawrence.
a,
Yep.
for sure, this is our franchise quarterback. Um, yeah, and this is not the draft to find your, next 10-year, 15-year quarterback. Um,
Talk,
if you're Pittsburgh, so best of luck,
talk about
especially when you got
disappointing.
that, you got other teams.
Talk about disappointing the Jaguars. I mean, that Jaguars team is good.
Yes,
They are a really good team,
very
and
good.
just then squandered that one against the Bills
Absolutely.
there last weekend. I was pulling
Yes.
for them too. I want to see
Yes.
somebody different.
Absolutely. Same. Absolutely. Right. Like, we've seen Buffalo do what they did the previous 5 years, and
Yep.
then this year. Let's see what Jacksonville can do. And they just, they got they're they're young and green, and what is this playoffs thing? What are we supposed to do with this?
Right.
Whereas Buffalo's like, okay, we've done this a lot of times. Let's just go win this. But I think Jacksonville's really well coached. I think they're a good situation, quarterback long term. Still, like, it take him a couple years to settle in, but like, that's a dumpster fire organization. You can't put
Yeah,
it,
it was.
anyone there as Hall of
Yeah.
Fame. You put Brady in there or Mahomes in there, it's going to be
Yeah.
rough, right?
Right.
So,
It's an organization that is
yeah,
not used to winning.
he's a generational quarterback. Yeah.
Yep. They're
No,
not used to
right.
winning it. They're certainly not used to winning playoff games at a high level, which is what the
Oh,
margins of error are razor
no.
thin in the NFL playoffs. Anybody could lose anytime. So,
Yes,
see,
absolutely.
Jacksonville will be better off in the long run losing that game because that probably taught them a lot about how to play playoff football.
Absolutely.
But it
Right.
may not matter because
Yeah, I
no
think they're
one's
going to be
beaten
strong.
Seattle.
Yeah. No, you talk about, they're like the Indiana of the NFL. They go out and, just speaking of bludgeoning, just from the get-go,
Yep.
they make the 49ers look like just a joke. I, and you got Sam Darnold's like, I'll throw the ball 17 times and hand off 33 times or whatever.
Why
That's
wouldn't you?
fine. We'll go.
Why wouldn't
Our
you?
defense is gonna murder Brock Purdy. This is Seattle. I mean, that's what Miami needs to do. Low amount of passes for Carson Beck. Try to bludgeon him with a run with Mark Fletcher. and then get some forcing some turnovers from Purdy and the offense. That Seattle defense is so they're just fast. They're always in the right position. They they're mean. They're just really, really, really good. And this is only year two of Mike McDonald. Like this is
Yeah.
he's a legit, long-term solution for them. And he's a Harbaugh guy off the John/Jim Harbaugh. He's with John Harbaugh with the Ravens, went to Michigan for 2021, did the defensive coordinator, turned that defense around, and goes back to Baltimore for coordinator, and then takes this job. Like run the ball, play elite defense, and you're in an NFC title game. Like this
Right.
is the solution. And even if you have like a Sam Darnold's not terrible, he's not great, but he's fine. He's good. He's solid, and that's all you need. Just solid and run the Walker, run Kenneth Walker because he is a stud.
There's
He
there's
is really,
been
really, really good.
there's been a lot of average quarterbacks win Super Bowls in NFL history.
Hmm.
There's just been a ton of them. So there's no
Yes,
reason at
absolutely.
all Sam Darnold can't just be another average to above average NFL
Right.
quarterback that goes and wins a Super Bowl
Trent
based on
Dilfer,
the run game.
whatever.
Yes, yeah, that's probably
Dilfer,
the
Flacco,
biggest
whatever.
one is Dilfer. But based on and just run
Yeah,
the ball, play great
right.
defense, play field position, don't turn it over, all the fundamental stuff we talk about. And I think it was you in the chat last night that said this, and it is 1,000% true. It looked like they were moving at a totally different speed than what San Francisco was playing at.
Yes,
They just looked all around way more
yes,
athletic and
right.
faster on the field. Like it was up when you said it, I'm like, holy shit! I'm watching. Like he's right. They're moving way faster than San Francisco's moving. It was glaring. Once you said it, I'm like, oh
It's
yeah,
it,
that's glaring. That's so different.
it's like they knew every play is gonna happen because they're always around the ball. Like they're playing 20 guys on defense too. Like
Correct.
San Francisco could do nothing, nothing well, and they had plenty of opportunity. Like they had the ball for like almost 12 minutes that second quarter on three drives and had 6 points to show for it. I mean,
Right.
that was it. Like you had the ball, you possessed the ball, you had two 10 plus play drives, and you ended up settling for three. That's also why, Seattle, I mean, this could have been worse because the 49er defense is able to hold Seattle to three a couple times off some turnovers, but not as if it need to be worse than 41-6. But
Right.
if you're a San Fran fan, you're like, just get this season over with. Like, I understand there are a lot of injuries and they just can't stay healthy. I didn't think this game would be
I
this
didn't either.
bad though.
I thought it'd be a fun one.
I actually thought wouldn't have been surprised if sort of 49ers will win, but that's watching Seattle again, as I've only seen them, a little bit here, a handful of times this year. Like watching that game was like, dude, there ain't nobody beating this team. Nobody. I don't care who they're playing. Chicago, LA,
Yeah.
whoever's from the
No.
AFC. I don't think it's gonna matter. They're so well coached. They don't deal with bullshit. I think that's one of their slogans, like no bullshit is regular. This is get to work kind of thing. I forget what their
Right.
slogan is, but something along this, no bullshit, just work or something like that. And it shows like very, very workmanlike quarterback. Walker's elite, I think. Fast as shit, twitchy. The defense is second to no one. Like, what more do you want? That's it. You got, a couple elite wide receivers, and I think Jeff Smith and Jigba only had three catches, and
Right.
he
Didn't
was
need them.
hardly anything. And they won 41-6, right?
Yeah.
And yeah,
It
Coop had five catches.
this Seattle team is really comparable, except for at the quarterback position, the one that won the Super Bowl, and the one that beat the number one Broncos number one offense when Peyton was there, just absolutely smoked those guys,
Yes,
and
yes,
should have won another
yep.
one, but you forget you have the best running back in the league in beast mode behind you, so why not throw it to the end
Right,
zone, morons?
right. You
But
should on
they should
third on the 3 yard line.
yeah, this team is yeah, it's first and 10. You hand it to him, he goes to the two. Then you decide I'm just not gonna give it to him anymore. It's still
Watch
baffling.
this.
Yeah, yeah, we're gonna outsmart ourselves, and
It's one of the
it.
worst play calls in the history of sports.
It's got to be up there, and that just goes to show you, and it's not on the college level. We watched Miami do it. We talked about Miami not
Mm-mm,
doing it in this
mm-mm.
game tomorrow night. Don't outsmart yourself. Run, Fletch, do these
Yep.
things. Well,
Right.
NFL coaches can do it too. It ain't just on the college level. It's at every level of
Absolutely.
football. You watch a
Oh, no, no,
coach
no.
decide,
They're not
well,
immune to it.
everyone says we're going to run the ball. Let's fake them out and pass it when you're running the ball. You're winning at the point of attack, and you just decide let's just go ahead and run an end around or try to throw the ball in the end zone or whatever. And so, but yeah, this Seattle team and defense especially really resembles those Seattle teams that won one and should have had another.
Yes, it absolutely. Yep. Agreed. All right, so there's two games today, one of which is already in progress. Patriots up 7-0 with about 8 minutes left on the first over Houston. I mean, we can't exactly predict this game, but I had thought the Patriots would probably win this game. I think it'll be a close game
Me too.
because the Houston also has an elite defense too. DeMarco Ryan, like that's a that's an elite defense. I don't believe in CJ Stroud enough to actually contribute enough to win. Whereas I think Drake May is a better quarterback.
How
I think
about that?
his skill set's better. I think he's it's the Patriots are just fine in the Belichick post Belichick area with the new coaching regime, of course.
And
Like an actual coaching search went through and they did that.
talk
Um,
about your all-time blunders. The Tennessee Titans just saying, you know what, Vrabel, we can do better. You're out of here. What a bunch of
yeah, right.
morons.
Go to New England, whatever you want.
Go
Go to
up
New
there and
England if you want.
fail. We'll show
Okay, I'm
you.
gonna be 14-3 in
Yeah,
the.
we'll show you.
Yes, right. This is the Titans that want to be like, no, we want to be the Browns. They're bullish on like, we want to be the
Seems that way.
Browns. We want to be worse than the Browns. Well, congrats, you're on your way. Let's make every wrong decision possible.
Yeah,
Speaking of Browns, they fires Kevin Stefanski and he gets the head job in Atlanta, which is, I think he's probably a good coach. You go to uh, Cleveland as a coach or player, sort of a couple players, it's like a pit of despair, and
yes.
you just never come out of it. No one's going to do well there, and it's all their ownership. Like until they
Ownership,
change,
yeah,
this is
ownership
what
ain't
you're
going
going
to
to be
let them
every
do
year.
well. Yep, they're not going to allow them. They're not going to make the right
Nope.
decisions to make it a successful organization. And I don't know if it's like a Jerry Jones thing
Right.
where the people that have the money want to make the decisions because they think they know better than actual people that know the football, know the game and come from the game. I don't know if it's that.
Right.
There's a lot of ownership around that like that. I mean, the Cleveland's the most glaring one, but you
A
can
lot of
argue
ego.
Titans. There's a
Right.
there's a bunch of teams you can argue that just
I think I think Cincinnati is what right there too.
yes,
Like
yep,
that's a
that for whatever
family-owned
reason,
organization, and they you have your waste. You lost your window with Joe Burrow, like a
yeah,
generational quarterback
yep.
in your franchise, and you're just it's wasted. So, and then the other game is the
The
Rams
Bears,
Bears. That's on tonight at 6:30 NBC Peacock. This is a rare thing for, say, as a Bears fan, we won a playoff game, beat the Packers in the playoffs, first time
makes it
since
sweeter.
after World War II, I believe it was.
Uh-huh.
So it makes it
Makes it
like
sweeter,
anything from here is just gravy, right? Because this is year one of
right?
Ben Johnson,
For sure.
and
Young
and
team too.
and he could not be the absolute young team, right? He could not be more. I could not be happier than I am right now with how this organization is moving. And they're also an organization with leadership, ownership that's been just a disaster for the last
Mm-hmm.
40 years, right? They just make the wrong move over and over and over. And I feel like they finally got the right guy in Johnson. Creative offensive mind to lead a generational quarterback, the best quarterback they've had. uh,
Since who?
Pick your time frame, whatever. I mean, maybe ever. Like you got guys that have played well. Like even Jim Harbaugh had a nice run, some nice
Yep.
years. Jim McMahon wins a Super Bowl. Like
That's where I was
we're
going.
going back 30, 40 years. Like
Yeah.
you're talking like who else are you going to go? Kyle Orton, Rex
Rex Grossman.
Grossman. Like,
Yeah. Jay
there's
Cutler.
yeah. As I said, Jay Cutler. Like if that's your bottom, then anything remotely talented is going to be good. Like, and Williams is still maturing. Like his
Sure.
completion percentage is still not great. Like he needs to get better. Like, but he's also a gamer. He's a baller. He's a guy that like we talking about practice. He's gonna go out there and like figure out a way to engineer a couple passes that no human should make, and he completes them and makes the plays here and there, and like he'll drive you nuts sometimes, like some of the decisions he makes, but he's gonna come through with some of these plays, and the most important thing I think is this has been a big thing, is how Johnson was very like much embracing who the Bears are. And what that is you hate Green Bay. His fuck the Packers thing is ignited the Bears fandom and the organization to like this guy is who Chicago wants. He's embracing it. And that's not no one has done that in Chicago forever, right? Like no one has been that blunt about who we are. We don't care for this team. We don't care if you like it or not. This is a violent sport. If you don't like that we say bad words in the locker room and don't love every player, whatever, coach, too bad. This is who we are. And this is the most exciting time for as a Bears fan since I was 10 years old. You know, literally, when I was 10 years old and we're watching the Bears win the Super Bowl in '86. Like, this is it. And there's been a few seasons here and there that have been nice, but
Right?
they're not
Yep.
sustainable. Like, Rex Grossman's not going to be for, he's going to be playing for 10 years, 15 years. Like, Kyle Orton's not your quarterback of the future. You have a quarterback of the future who's only in year two now, and you have some elite wide receivers.
Yep.
You got better up front on the offensive line. The
Got to get better on
defense has some
defense.
work to be done on the
Yep.
lines. They got to get better on defense, which is why I think that they time may run out on them today. The one thing they have going for them is it's going to be cold and kind of miserable to play, and that's not something that LA's used to. And the Bears been doing that for the last since early December, so a month. So
Yep.
that will probably play into that a little bit. I don't know if it's going to translate to a W. I'm hoping. I'm actually picking the Bears to win, partly
Me
because
too.
it's hopeful, but also because of that weather. Is that will mean something at some point in time. Now, it's that's not going to be like every play or whatever. But if it's the fourth quarter and Stafford takes one more hit and his hand is dinged and it's cold, my hand hurts, it's wind chills -3 or whatever. That's not fun. I don't care how
No.
what you're doing, how
And
well you're doing.
that's those games are that is so NFL playoff football is that setting. Soldier Field, cold,
Yes.
maybe spitting some snow, and there's a
I
stat, and I
hope
don't, and I
it's
and
yes,
I
right.
meant to write this down. I seen it, but I don't remember what it was. Maybe it was on our chat. But like dome teams are like 1 or 0 and something in like below 30-degree weather or whatever that number is. It's a pretty crazy
I
stat.
think it's like 1 in 15, something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
right. So you got to be a lot better than the team you're playing when you start getting out in the cold. And NFL playoff, like we already talked about, NFL playoff
Yes.
football has a razor thin margin for error. And so you get them out there. Stafford don't throw the ball around very good. It's cold. It sucks on the sideline because you're freezing. It's loud. It's going to be rowdy. If the Bears can get a lead,
It's gonna be really.
watch
Yeah.
out. Watch out.
Oh,
Yep.
that place will
I'm looking
cave
forward to the
in.
game. I'm not a huge NFL guy, but
Absolutely.
I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to this one.
Absolutely. Yeah, we're both way more college
Yeah,
sports related. Um, I'm a little more NFL than you probably are, but like,
for sure.
yeah, this has been and hell. All the games minus the 49ers Seahawks game have been excellent too.
I think
Like
they all
down
will
the
be too.
wire, overtimes.
I,
I don't
I think
anticipate. I think these two games as well. Obviously, the Texans and or the Patriots are already there, 7-3. 5 minutes left in the first.
I the
I'd
I
be
think
surprised if
the
the Bears Rams game is a big more than a score difference or
yeah
so.
I think the Seattle and Niners game is a one-off. I don't think that's going to be reflective of any other game in the
Yes.
playoff in the Super Bowl in a few weeks or anything like that. I just don't. I think every game's going to be a couple possessions, a big play here or there, a big call by a ref because the ref's going to refs, and so they're going to want to be on TV a
They'll
little
make
bit.
their
So they're going to impact.
they're gonna
We're going
make
to
their
impact some
presence
of these
felt.
games.
Yes,
Yes, they
exactly.
are. Yes, they are. They can't help themselves.
Right. Is Teddy Valentine? He's gonna do the Super Bowl, right? Teddy
Well,
Valentine.
TV Teddy, he should.
Red Hightower, pick your college
Yep.
best. Teddy, he'll be out there.
Yep. So,
Oh, what a clown.
but that's yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I said that's that when it comes to professional sports, you're right, especially NFL. You're more about the NFL than I am. But One thing I will do when it comes to professional sports, and this is true across the board, NFL, not hockey. I've never got into hockey at all, but NFL, baseball, and NBA.
Sure,
When it comes to playoff time, I can tune in and watch those games. Those games are way more intense
sure,
and they're more fun because you could tell the players actually give a shit at that time. Whereas in baseball, I can't sit
right.
down and watch any baseball game in the middle of July because everyone knows that game means
July,
exactly
right,
dick. It
right.
means nothing. And so it's like
Nothing,
I just can't do
nothing.
it.
Right.
Same with NBA, a little bit with NFL
No.
too. I just can't watch a random Sunday of NFL football in October or September or whatever. Just regular
Right.
two
Right.
NFL teams that
Yes.
doesn't, especially two NFL teams that are not, that have like Titans and name someone else, Titans, Dolphins, or whatever that have no shot of having a
Cleveland or something like
playoffs.
who's who?
Yes,
No one wants to watch that.
no one's watching it. I can't do it. But NFL playoff games, I'll tune in
No.
because it's a whole different level of intensity, and you can tell those players are that it's winning time. Like they're playing for something at that point, and that's
Yes.
I like that when the
Right.
emotion of it, and you can tell that that's to a whole other level that I can finally tune in and watch.
Yeah. I agree. 100%. So, all right. Well, it's the second to last college football show of the year. We'll wrap it up with this episode, and we'll come back in a couple days to review the title game on Monday. Don't forget, folks, set your clock to Monday at 7:30 Eastern time. Oh, the kick will probably be at 10 to 8, though. You know,
Most likely, yeah,
so,
Bill.
so usually that is. It's kickoff's not 7:30.
That's
It's gonna be at 7. If it's at 7:45, I'll be surprised.
that's one thing I would change if I was a college. If it was Chris running the college game, I would mirror kickoffs like the NFL does. When the NFL sets kickoff for one, by God, one
Hmm.
o'clock the ball gets kicked. There ain't no coming out
It's
on the
right.
sidelines.
Absolutely.
All that gets done before. When it's 1 o'clock, it's time to kick the damn football off. Let's kick it off. There's no messing around and Herb
Yes.
Street.
Right.
It's yeah, kickoff 7:30. They don't kick off till 7:50.
Talking for 10 minutes.
Nope,
Right?
kick it off.
And it's like,
Says
we got to
7:30,
do the
kick it at
national anthem. We got to
7:30.
do this and that, whatever. It's like,
Yeah,
can we just play? Right? I mean, just can we just play? Like, I don't care. I'm watching the game. I'll see it. I have Twitter. I have pick your ESPN app. I know who's playing or not playing if I want to just check quickly.
right.
Like I'm watching this game. I'm already invested. You don't have to tell me it's going to be a great game. I know it will be. Alabama and Georgia. I know it's going to be a good game. Don't tell me about it. Kick the ball off,
Yeah, let's
right?
go.
And
When you
also, both teams can wear home uniforms if they want to. That's the other thing, right? That's the first thing you'll do, right? Home uniforms on the road.
the NFL don't
We can
even
put
do
man on the
it.
moon,
The NFL
but
don't
we
even
can.
do it.
No, they don't even. No, exactly. Right.
Like I
Right.
figured they would do it
Exactly.
before.
Oh, Jesus.
Basketball does a little bit. College basketball does a little bit, but
Yes.
very little.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
don't I don't
Yeah.
get that.
In fact,
That's a whole
for
other.
example, Michigan, I'm trying to get. They did they were on the road and they wore the home. I forget when it was recently. It was that Washington game. Anyway, it happens. Like
Yes,
it's not against the law. No one's going to perish. You
I
shall
don't.
perish if you wear your home uniform on the road in college football. Thou
It's
shalt not be allowed. That was like one of when the founding fathers came over. That was like the first thing they said is
yeah,
you can't wear
yeah.
your home
But
uniform on the road.
before we get to this Constitution thing and this Bill of Rights, there's one thing we need to do. We need to make sure in the
Yes, right,
future
right.
that teams don't wear their home uniforms when
Yes,
they're away from home. All right, then we can go ahead and get to this whole Bill of Rights and Constitution thing
yeah.
and creating this country. Let's go ahead and get that out of the way first.
Right.
Uh,
And the one guy's like, Excuse me, sir, what's college football?
yeah,
What is this you speak of?" We'll get to that.
yeah,
We'll get
yeah.
to that.
It's a game we're going to play every Saturday, except for the playoffs. Then we're going to do everything but play Saturday. That's what we're going. That's what we're going to do.
Yeah, we're gonna play. We want to play. You can say, you know what? Hell, with it. We're gonna just embrace it. We're gonna play a Wednesday at 9 a.m.
Yeah.
in January. Whatever. Like, hell with it. Whatever. You know what? The people will still. You'll still watch. People take the day off to watch it. People will go to the game. It's still. They'll still make money. Don't worry. If you don't want to
It,
fight, you can do it. You're fighting your against the Days of Our Lives rerun or something like that. That's what you're going to go up against, and you're set then.
That was a kind of a double-edged sword when we lived in San Diego. When we was out in San Diego, was the good
Hmm.
part of it is football kicked off at 9:30 in the morning, or 9 o'clock. Sorry, 9 o'clock in the morning. The 12 o'clock kicks were 9 a.m.
Yeah,
out there, so you could watch football all day long. And when the last game went off, which is the USC games or the Washington games or what have you, you could just go out and eat if you wanted to, or go do something.
right.
But the flip side of that was like this
Sure,
game tomorrow night,
sure.
7:30 Eastern. That's 4:30 out there. Well, a lot of people don't get off work till 5, 5:30, 6. Hell, most of the first half's over by the time you get home.
Five
So you're
thirty.
having to
Time you get home, it's
try to get out early on a
right.
Monday.
Absolutely.
Try to drive home like a
Yeah,
maniac to
like
be able to catch. Yeah,
d-
that's the down part of it.
and they won't. And it's like when you're worried that people won't watch that game over an NFL game. Like, but you said they had an opportunity to
They didn't.
sandwich that in there, and it'll be talk to the NFL. Maybe they'll kick it 11 o'clock. I don't know, whatever. Just so that it can be college football fans can be happy too. It's our time to shine.
I don't
No
know how
question.
many. I don't know how much ratings that would really take away. Like if you're watching the Bears and Seahawks, or
Come on.
if you're watching Bears and Green Bay, and Miami and Indiana's on TV, I don't know like how much is that really going to pull away. I don't know. There's a whole lot of difference as far as viewership. I think there's a lot of split screens, but I don't think there's a lot of differences as
Yeah.
far as viewership. I don't.
Yes. Right. We have the technology now. People have multiple TVs in their home. Split screen technology with YouTube or pick your other provider. Um,
And it's
yeah,
not
I don't.
even
I mean, that's like if they do nothing else in the next 5 years, fix that shit.
and
Fix that.
it's not even a
It's,
TV
it's
channel
scenery.
thing either. I mean, these NFL games are on Fox and
No,
on
no, it's not like
like
it's
was
yeah,
it
exactly. Will
were they on NBC or Fox or whatever they're on?
Prime,
Right? Yep. Oh, yep.
NBC tonight. Yeah,
And it's all
yeah,
ESPN for
yeah.
the
So
playoff.
the NFL games this weekend were yeah, it's all been played.
Yep.
So it's like Fox has got a game, NBC's got a game. The Bears played on Prime last weekend.
Right.
Of course, CBS. Like it's the
And we
only
do
thing
it.
they're not playing on is the WB network and or CW network. Maybe
Right.
we like yeah, ESPN, ABC. They have enough channels. Like they have enough channels to do. No one needs to watch ESPN news when there's a game on. Like you can use that for another game. Like they have enough channels to even like have a sideline cast with McAfee. They have a all 22. They have the radio for Alabama. They have the radio for
Yep.
Indiana. They have the regular telecast. Like,
No
come
reason at
on,
all they
man.
can't do it. No reason they
This
can't
is
do it.
this ain't working. No, nope, nope, absolutely. So yeah, I'm competing with NFL for the TV slot itself. So, all right, well,
Let's go watch
I think
football.
we've did a pretty good job. Just watch some football. We'll be back in a couple days to review whatever happens tomorrow night, and like I said, we'll talk more college football stuff. There's plenty of things to talk about always year round. Portal stuff, especially. There's a lot to talk about in portal, like the
4,000
numbers
kids.
and kids going here and there. That's a
4,000
whole
players.
yeah. That's a whole nother. That's a whole nother. They're still in the portal. Some of them are going to find a home either.
Yeah.
Not the home that they thought they were going to find. So we could talk for 4 hours on that. So
Yeah,
we'll get to
for
that.
sure.
But the portal's wrapping up. As your entry had to be in by a couple days ago. So now it's just there's a few kids that are left that have not found a home yet. But those are the big names are pretty much settled in. So we'll cover that here after the final games Monday. Enjoy the games today, Sunday, and then the final game tomorrow night. Hope we see a good game. I feel good about our picks. Indiana winning, under hitting, and Miami covering that 8.5. I think we're going to win some money.
I do
Not a
too.
lot of money, folks, but it's money. We're
If we're going to get on here and make
two
gambling picks,
idiots
Delaney,
saying, "Hell, we know."
right? If we're going to get on here and make gambling
Yes.
picks, having money on
Put
the
some
line
money.
makes those picks. That means we're actually practicing what we preach.
Absolutely.
We're telling you spend money on our picks because we're spending
Absolutely.
money on our picks.
Yes, and we're combined. What 23-7
Yes.
in the playoffs?
Yep.
Is that right?
That is.
I'm 12-3, you're
We
11-4,
checked the
something like that. So
23-7.
made you some money.
in the playoffs. that's picking money line, over unders,
Yes,
and against
and that's
the
a
spread.
mix of the money line, and that's a mix of under over. Yeah, switch whichever one you want, and do all of them, and then hedge with Miami win. Right? That's what you do.
That just felt right when I made that bet, and I was getting that plus 260. I'm like, but that's good money. If we had more money to spend on it, I'd have spent more money on it. But that's money well spent. We'll see if it pays off. If not, then
Absolutely.
it doesn't. But
Right.
I just feel like that's
That's our budget.
Yeah, that's a good $88 spent, because Miami can certainly win that game or not.
Absolutely. All right, folks, this is Health We Know Podcast. That's Chris. I'm Brian. We'll be back to talk to you in a couple days to review the title game. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon.